What's up, my name is TechNumber here for Troubleshoot and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you a rather useful tip with Notepad++. So if I open up Notepad++, it's obviously just a text editor. If I go ahead and save it to somewhere like my desktop, obviously it'll contain all of the text that I asked it to save. But what happens if this file over here is edited? Say we're monitoring a log file for a game or program. The next line might be error something something something. If it changes, you'll see that inside of Notepad++, all we get is an error when we click on it, saying, would you like to reload it as it was modified by another program? After clicking yes, the file will be reloaded. Now, of course, if there's tons of these lines coming in very often, you'll be getting this pop-up saying it's been modified very often. Of course, there can be an issue, especially if you're just trying to read it. And of course, if you were to simply open up the text file with something like Notepad, then obviously when the actual file itself changes, you won't have any indication of that happening until you close out of it and reopen it. So how exactly do we monitor a text file inside of Notepad++ or use something in some way similar to a Linux program called tail? On Linux, you can simply use tail-f to follow or output text dynamically as the file grows or shrinks. So I'll simply drag and drop the text file into Notepad++ or open it in some other way. Then at the very top, I'll click on View, and at the very bottom, we'll find Monitoring tail-f. Simply clicking this, you'll see the icon of the text file itself changes from a save icon to an eyeball. If we were to open up the text file in another program, or something like an error logger or game writes to this file, you'll see that as soon as these are saved, the file will automatically update inside of Notepad++. If you'd like to empty or edit the file, you'll notice that you're no longer able to edit the file at all. If you'd like to edit it, you can either open it up with default Notepad and change it as such, or you can simply go View and then turn off monitoring mode up here. Then you can edit the file as you please, hit Ctrl+S, View, monitoring on once again. This is incredibly useful for you if you're going to be monitoring files that dynamically grow, especially log files with something like Notepad++. Why? Well, Notepad++ has a great search feature where you can search for words, replace, find in files, etc., which you may not be able to do in other text editors, especially with this sort of simplicity. And of course, if you wanted to, you could resort to another tail-f type command inside of a command prompt window, but of course, it's just much easier to have it inside of an editor where you'd be working with other files anyway. But anyways, that's about it for this quick tip. Hopefully you found something useful in it. My name's been TechNumber here for Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao!